Hi, I'm Onision. I'll be your cleaner for today.
Today is my final Christmas gift to you guys. It's only 2 days away for Christmas Day, and I'm sure Greggy Poo is having a fantastic Christmas with all the legal issues that he's currently facing as of right now since December 20th. Because you remember in my last video I mentioned that Greg dug himself deeper than he's ever dug himself before, so he's dealing with the IRS issues with all the crazy deductions. But on December 20th, he settled in court. Yes, the wonderful state of Washington found out that he was doing some illegal activity on his property. Now, for the most part, if you own your own land, you can pretty much do whatever you want, but for the most part, you gotta get license and you gotta get permits in order to do certain things. It just so happens that Greg bought a new house, and his backyard had a wetland attached to it with a very beautiful lake. This is what it originally looked like. This is, honestly, if you had a backyard like this, I would be... That would be incredible. Like, that is beautiful. I don't know why in the world you would want to wipe all this out, make it an ugly clearing, but that's exactly what Greg wanted to do. I am not a professional environmentalist or anything, so I don't know all the specifics when it comes down to wetlands specifically, but what I do know is that Washington State takes it very seriously. It was only last year that a man was charged $90,000 in Pierce County for destroying 1.5 acres of wetlands. Wetlands are very, very, very sensitive. You just can't go clubbing in, wiping everything out, and expect to build houses or build on wetlands themselves. It's very unstable. There's a lot of issues with wetlands, but also that there's habitats of animals, but overall there's a lot of actual risks that pertain to building on wetlands, which is why they're protected by the county or the state. This guy specifically was charged $90,000 because he went way above what he was permitted to do, wanting to develop his housing units to make more money, only to be sued by the state, and actually, it's worth more than $90,000 he had to pay. It was roughly $250,000 in total, and it's a severe, big thing when you destroy wetland. So Greg moved into this new house, and he thought that it would be a great idea to record himself on YouTube, which is now removed, of course, taking a chainsaw, chopping down trees, wiping out blackberry bushes and some nettles. But what Greg doesn't tell you is that he did a lot more than just wiping out blackberry bushes, because when he went to court, when the state issued people to go onto his property and see what was going on, what he was doing in this destruction, they found out that it wasn't just blackberry bushes and nettles. He cleared out legitimately everything, which you're not supposed to do when you're that close to a wetland or your property is in part with a wetland, specifically a small lake behind it. My hippie neighbor reported me. She showed up at my house about 2 months ago, acted like we were friends, then reported me for removing weeds and invasive bushes to the county. She cost me thousands over devil's clubs, nettles, and blackberry bushes. You see, this is Greg trying to minimize any damage or any wrongdoing that he does, because Greg doesn't admit when he actually screws up. So he plays this whole blackberry game, hires a lawyer because the state issued a non-work order, meaning that you have to cease the action that you're doing. He was issued this by the state on his front door. Stop what you're doing, you're destroying wetlands. Does Greg listen? No. He continues doing exactly what he does. And what you don't understand, if you get issued by the state of Washington to stop building or stop destroying wetlands, you need to listen to that. Because one, if you don't, from that day on that it is issued, you get fines. The fines collect. And up through September all the way to December, he just kept on going. But most of all, the most incriminating thing is that he got a tractor, chopped all these trees down, and then pushed them into the lake. You're not allowed to dump your garbage or your trees or all your crap that you destroy illegally and then push it into a lake for other people to clean up. Most of all, just goes to show how much of a non-environmentalist person, specifically because you're a vegetarian, and these things don't even cross your mind, destroying animals' homes, and then thinking that you're in the right by just pushing it all into a lake with a tractor. This is what they used in the state case, which pretty much, you can't argue against this. This is incriminating.
What's today's date? August 10th, 5 p.m. 2016. 18. All the metadata is in the video anyway. So category 2 wetland. There's a 100-foot buffer from the edge of the wetland for development. Need a permit at the very least and mitigation for clearing.
If you destroy wetlands without giving the proper approvals or permits, and you destroy a bunch, you change the infrastructure of the ground, how water is placed and how water soaks into the ground around the houses and the homes and the area. Thus, you can cause damage to any other houses or even your own property by doing this, thus devaluing what your property is worth, because now you've created some sort of pathway through mud and water that allows it to seep into under your home or even your backyard even more than it should. Destroying wetlands can cause mudslides, which we've had in Washington state, that have actually killed people. The reason I'm explaining this is because I want to just express that this is not some little dinky, oh, I just chopped down a tree, the state wants to sue me. This is way more than that. But Greg is not somebody who can comprehend any wrongdoing, so what does he do? He hires a lawyer. The court eventually, the court date gets moved. Greg wants to appeal and say that he did nothing wrong, that he was just cutting out blackberry bushes when there's video surveillance of him doing otherwise. When he had multiple different neighbors say, hey, you can't be doing this, when he had a court-ordered stop what you're doing from the state of Washington, still does what he's doing. So December 20th comes along, and they settle. Now, I'm not going to show you the entire court paperwork. Let me just say is that Greg is in a heap of trouble financially, because he has agreed with his settlement that he has to pay for all the damages that he did to the wetlands specifically. This means replanting trees, this means and undoing everything that he's done. That means hiring somebody who works with wetlands professionally, which, if you know anything about those people who come and assess property damage and things like that, they're really, really expensive. And he has to pay for all the replantations and fixing everything until the state of Washington is satisfied. Agrees that it will implement and perform the plan to Pierce County's satisfaction and in compliance with all applicable laws. Mitigation plan to be completed by professional wetland consultant within 45 days of the effective date of this agreement plan period. The citizen who filed for the concern had some very good photos and video of their illegal activity and was willing to attend the hearing to verify their validity, which allowed me to include them in my staff report, which I think helped Mr. Avero's lawyer realize it was better to settle than to go forward with an appeal. In addition, the county's prosecuting attorney decided to send Mr. Avero's lawyer the patron-only YouTube video sent to the county by several citizens of Mr. Avero cutting down trees, which was equally helpful. Multiple people came forward with evidence showcasing that what Greggy Poo was saying was bull crap. That it was just him playing the victim, him spewing his lies, in hopes that he wouldn't have to take accountability for him destroying actual wetland property and affecting the people around him. And can I ask, why would you change this? This is gorgeous. This is beautiful. What possesses someone with a small brain like Greggy Poo to just wipe this all out and push it into the lake? Like, you gotta be, something is not clear in this man's head. When the state tells you to stop doing something, you stop. But you know, Greg likes to make everything into a video, so he incriminated himself here. He makes a YouTube video, they use that in court, and he realizes that there's no way, his lawyer anyway, and this is not even including the lawyer fees that he has to pay, because all the fees that come along with hiring this, you know, wetlands professional replanting is going to be astronomical, and roughly between $30,000 to $50,000 just to fix the damage he's done. That is not including the legal fees of him continuing to do something despite the state telling him not to. This is one of those few times where I actually take pride in what's happening to his demise. Some will say that's evil of me, some will say that it's cruel or mean to be happy with someone's demise, but this person has done so much damage to people and his relationships, most of all, even some of his fans, that this is what karma, I don't believe in karma, except for really, really bad people, and this is justice. This is true karma right here. 2 days before Christmas, he has 45 days and 14 days to comply and do a bunch of stuff all with hiring these professionals to fix all the damage that he has done because he refused when somebody told him no. And you see, that's Greg for you. You can't say no to Greg. Greg will do what his little brain wants to do, and the repercussions will just keep digging him deeper, and he'll never take responsibility for it. And it's pure justice. You are dying. Your career is plummeting. Your money is dwindling. The government is on your ass. The state is on your ass. And yet, he still can't admit that he's been wrong. What does that say about a person? What does this say about the future of his children? It's a scary thought to put in perspective. If someone truly can never admit that they're wrong in circumstances like this, even when proven wrong by the state with video surveillance and all that stuff, then this is not somebody you want to look up to. This is not someone you want to have as a role model. This is not somebody who you should give your money to. But, you know, it's your money. If you want to give them to some idiot, by all means, you go ahead and do that. But you are making a poor life choice to finance and support someone who does and acts and behaves and never holds himself accountable for anything that he does and blames and victimizes himself under every context and every situation he puts himself in. If you support someone like that, then it makes me question you as a supporter, as a fan, refusing to acknowledge that this person destroys and damages everything he is around. And your refusal to see and accept that will only serve your demise. Merry Christmas. If you want to support me for absolutely free, please follow my Twitch. It's one of the best ways for me to interact with you guys. I thoroughly enjoy live streaming far more than I do enjoy making videos because it's live and I can interact with you guys and I can talk to you guys. It just feels so much more personal. It's absolutely free. Until next time, I will see you guys in January, and my 3 books that I will be reviewing and discussing on Onision will be coming in January, so look forward to that.